to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Reverend McCarthy.
Let's pray. God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, we call upon you. Thank you that you are God who hears prayer. Come to you through your Son. Because of his worthiness, we ask your blessing on these your servants, our leaders gathered here tonight to do the business of our village. Lord, we pray that you would give them wisdom in their decisions, and that you'd establish them for the peace and prosperity of everyone in this village, and so that your kingdom might be advanced by your Holy Spirit, and that people might live out lives of purpose to you, our Creator. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Good evening, everyone. Okay. First thing we'll get to is the abstracts. We've had a chance to look at them. If no questions, I need a motion.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Aye for me too. 3, right?
Yep, please, thank you.
You want to do the other bills too that we had, that other bill?
No, we'll do it when we get to Roger.
Okay, good. Okay, Bill Brown, please.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, no problem. Just a couple quick updates, nothing to ask to the board tonight. Regarding the biogas project, the digester project, we do continue contract negotiations. I know it's gone on for a few months, but we are working through that with the village, letters and meetings with the industries. At the wastewater treatment plant, a couple of projects we touched base on last month. One was regarding a piece of equipment called the grit screw. We submitted a SAM grant application to Senator Bonasek's office requesting funding for that piece of equipment. And regarding the air compressors in the filter building at the back of the plant, the Seabud filters, we are starting the design for that, which is a project that's funded under the budget and is 100% New York City cost. So working with the equipment manufacturers to get the new parts and pieces lined up. And that'll probably in the next month or two, we'll come back to the village and look to go to bid and move that one forward.
Well, we're like 100% for the city, so.
Yeah, it's all on their dime, everything in that building, so that's a good one. The Water Street, we did finalize the study there. We'll be sending copies to CWC and DEP as well as Soil and Water, and then obviously the village. And that'll function mainly as a tool to Soil and Water and the CWC and the city to use as a basis for obtaining funding for the rest of that work. So that's moving forward. And that's really the last item I had. The water grants we touched on last month. Unfortunately, we didn't get awarded in the round 2, but we are carried over to the round 3. So that's all we had.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Bill? If not, thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Steve's not here, huh?
There was a town meeting tonight too.
Okay, that was a town meeting. John Moffett, please.
Hello. Nothing really tonight other than did everybody receive, yes you did, received our latest inspection from the New York City DEP, inspected the plant. The same day Kevin O'Connor from the DEC was at the facility. There's a couple of items that are still, according to him, unsatisfactory. One is the influent impact, which, as we all know, we are still working on the issue that's coming into the plant that's causing our color issue. And we really can't go into detail, even though we have people asking us, what's going on. We have things that we're working on. We're narrowed things down considerably, working with the DEP, a little bit with the DEC on this problem as well. So with that being said, the problem we had back in December, January and February, which ended up being, as we all know, was the chlorine that came down. Since that has been rectified, Our biology's been fine, the only problem we're having at the plant is turbidity. So 2 of the other issues that they had written was for turbidity on this, although our turbidity right now is fine going out of the plant. It has been for almost a month now.
Really?
Yeah. Since Kraft shut down for the maintenance, we've been seeing good turbidity numbers. I think it was even from the week before, we had fairly decent turbidity numbers. But we haven't had a turbidity violation since. But, so even though they put down unsatisfactory, if you look in the report, at the day of his visit, now when I say unsatisfactory, he put down for turbidity conditions of the effluent. In his report himself, he lists our turbidity going out the back door that day was a .12, our limit of .5. So I asked him to clarify that, and the only reason he gave us on that was just because we've been having turbidity issues for so long that he said, you know, he'd like to see us get at least another month under our belt where we're not having the problems, and then he would change that. But a couple of the other items that he had, which was the biology and all that, he put as satisfactory now, so.
But when he was there, the turbidity was okay?
Was fine, right. He even states that in his report.
Okay, all right.
Turbidity was going on. Again, the biology and everything at the plant has been looking great. Maintenance at the plant's fine. Bill's working on, like you said, Delaware Engineering's working on the grit screw, which is one of the items that they did bring up, but that's been something they've been working on. But other than that, right
And it
now...
looked like anything he suggested, you're already doing and have been doing.
Right.
How about with the sand filters? We're still,
Okay, so we had a conference call with DEP last week. Bob Ravallo, Andy Storr, myself, Tom Suazo. And we were looking at the possibility of doing a pilot, because if this is an ongoing issue with something coming in the plant, would it be smart to change the sand size? Instead of staying with the 0.9 millimeter, maybe going to a 0.7 millimeter to take that out. So we're meeting with the DEC on the 11th of October.
11.
And the city would like us to wait to discuss this with them. Not that they have a say either way, you know, it's a city expense. They realize it's a city expense, but they just want to make sure that the DEC is on board with allowing it to do the pilot without just changing the sand. But one thing, Sue McIntyre, Delaware County Solid Waste Manager, sent an email to me. She just got the latest results on our sludge. Since we put the screw press online over at the treatment plant and the MBT is running now, our volatile solids going up to the plant, or up to the landfill, are down considerably, she said, and our percent solids are higher. So we're sending them better quality sludge, and they're able to use it more in their composting. So she's very happy with what's going on there.
That's good.
And that's pretty much all I have.
I have one thing. We got the bill in for our annual regulatory fee of $8,000, and it came in, so we didn't get it in this abstract. I just need permission to go ahead and pay that, so I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
That's it.
That's it. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Chief?
Evening. I don't have much tonight either, thankfully. Camera system that we had up and running perfectly suddenly isn't up and running so perfectly. It's bouncing back and forth, but we think it's something we're going to be able to take care of ourselves, so we're going to try to do that. Today was the day that the gentleman from the STEP grant, which is one of our bigger grants, came in and did a complete audit on us, and he went through it very well. In fact, he was impressed, and really impressed with the productivity that's been coming from it. North Street parking, I haven't had any complaints since the last meeting. Has anybody else?
No one's come to me, so apparently what you're doing is working.
Brian went out and issued several courtesy tickets when I think he issued 11. And after that point, we haven't had a problem.
Probably the same people. I mean, the same kids go to the schools. It's probably the same people parking there 99% of the time. So like a warning ticket's gonna
That's it.
last, you know, so I get you new people every day.
It worked out well because we never had to get into issuing the actual summonses. The academic portion of the police academy ends this month, and the guys will start their field training. With that being said, unfortunately, Dominic, who made it all the way through the academic portion, is going to be leaving for the New York State Police. So that's good for him, bad for us. But so he'll be leaving just as the field training is supposed to be starting. The only other thing I have to mention is I haven't received word from the Community Foundation yet on our grant, so I'm assuming that we've made it through phase 1.
Well, that's good. And this thing, no news is good news.
Yeah,
till the
that's
end.
just
If
kind
you
of
make
what
it to the
I'm-
end, it's good.
And that's all I have.
And you're gonna stick around, we're gonna go into executive session for personnel later. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Public Works is not here either. Matt is out sick and Roger, so I mean, you all got a copy of the report. I spoke to Roger. The one thing that he would like to get permission for, we have 2 items on bidding, on the state bid. One is the jumping jack and the other is the truck auction. He would just like permission to, we have a certain price that we can't, obviously can't say in public, that we're looking for the truck, and that when we get to that point, he'd like the permission to accept the bid, use his, what he feels is a good bid for the truck. And, because it's gonna end in like, I think 6 days. And, we have a number to go at, and if it's not good enough, then he's gotta go and put it on another
Like a
time.
reserve.
But if it reaches the number, then, we'll give him permission to say okay and click okay on it. Is that a good way to word it, without saying a number amount?
You need a motion on it?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll say aye too. I'm trying to think now, is the sidewalk thing in here? No, I have the letter for that. Well, when I was talking about Roger, we did something too. I have a letter, to whom it may concern, there was a section of sidewalk missing in front of my rental property on 13 Mead Street. Would the village be willing to help me with the cost to pour the concrete in that section? Thank you, Gail McNee. It's the 50/50 program that we've been doing for other people.
The problem is this time of year, it's not enough for a truckload, so
Right.
it probably won't happen until spring. Just so you're aware.
But we can give the okay on it unless there's something else coming up that they can use the truckload, but
You need a motion?
Yeah.
Oh, make that motion.
Second.
Can we let her know that it won't happen until spring?
yeah, we'll let it know. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I vote yes, yeah.
We received the invoice in for the tree cutting. We've spent $16,550, and I need permission to go ahead and pay those invoices.
Motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye for me.
So I got
Okay.
in there.
Okay. Let's see what we got next here. Oh, okay. Number 3, public input. Anyone care to say anything, please name and,
My, this meeting is going so fast.
well, I'm not trying to rush it, it's just,
I would like to read a letter from the Chamber of Commerce, if I may.
sure.
This is obviously from the Walton Chamber of Commerce to the Village Board, and it's concerning the proposed biodigester. Dear Mayor Snow, in the course of reviewing past correspondence, I note that questions raised in the Walton Chamber's February 25th letter to you remain open. They relate to the unfortunate financial consequences in the village of Canajoharie after Beechnut closed its plant in that village. What would those consequences be for the Village of Walton if Kraft's operations ceased, given the current amount of indebtedness? Certainly, water and sewer bills would need to increase, but approximately by how much for each category? This would be a worst-case scenario, and hopefully a temporary one, since village leaders would work hard to find a new user of the facility. But it's something that the Chamber believes is important to have some perspective of where village residents would stand. Could these calculations be prepared by the village's accountants on a transparent basis so a layperson understands how it was done? Would it be possible to have this for the regular November village board meeting? If so, it would be appreciated.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can't answer right now, but I'll speak to our engineers and see what we can do.
And again, what kind of calculations?
I'm sorry?
What kind of calculations?
It would be for what would be the consequences if Kraft's operation ceased, and on the water and sewer bills. I will give each of you a copy of this prepared letter.
Okay.
And on a much lighter note, I'd like to remind everyone that this Saturday is the a night of entertainment at the theater, and I should have prefaced it by saying free night of entertainment at the theater. There'll be 4 professional entertainers, each one on the stage for about 45 minutes, a lot of gift certificates and cash prizes. And it is the 13th year that we have been doing that, so I would love to see you all there.
13 already, that fast. Boy. They say as we mature, it goes by faster. I didn't think it's been that long. Okay. That's it? Anything else?
That's
I
it.
have a comment.
Yes, sir.
And again, this pertains to the biodigester. And I went back and crunched some numbers because when we talked about the smaller one, and really the intent of the smaller one was to neutralize electric bills that are incurred at present at the Kraft plant. It kind of with that changing scope, I ran some numbers excluding Kraft's operations, and put in some information from the 2017 budget, the $220,000 in electric bills that it cost to run that plant, and really factoring out how much capacity was coming out of the biodigester as a result of Kraft not participating, the cubic feet per minute. It doesn't look like we'd be able to save any more than $80,000, best case scenario, in electric. And I've got the numbers here, Bill, I'd be happy to share them with you, how I arrived at it, but, I mean, it was all in it said at max capacity with Kraft participating. Saputo, I even left Sunrise in here, I don't know whether or not they are, but I took off the 49% of usage, and it said it was running at a maximum capacity of 50 CFM, saving 48,000. So I just pulled those numbers. I spent about 4 years in the electric industry, doing some different things and mostly pricing. And I think I'm fairly good with Excel, and I was able to derive these numbers. So, I mean, honestly, the numbers I came up with were alarming, and it's not exciting, but it's I have this thing running and losing about $160,000. And again, I'll leave this with you because I know that and in addition, I know the $300,000 additional that Kraft was going to save is that the result of them no longer condensing their way down there? And
Well, you throw me off a little bit on that. If we do the smaller digester, that would be without anything from Kraft.
Right.
And that would be with the two plants from...
so just the two.
Just the two, basically the two. We figured that we would make about savings in about $80,000 a year. You're not right on that number.
Right.
On savings from the electric bill down at the wastewater treatment plant.
That's if the biodigester ran net neutral of energy costs. So in winter, when you have to heat the digester.
No, we have the cost, right, the cost of all that is all figured in the users, the person that cost is all coming out of the user fee, not coming out of our,
Well, 2 cents a gallon, I mean, it factors into it.
4 cents a gallon outside the village.
Craft would be 2 cents. So
We said craft is 2 cents an
Because I
hour.
used 3 cents in this because that's what we originally had. I mean, what would honestly be helpful is if you could share some of those numbers. I don't care if I have to sign a non-disclosure or something like that, but I mean, I'm working with numbers here, and all I'm trying to do is illustrate, not, saying that there's no way this can work. I would say, as it was presented, there's no way it could work. And I hope that as it's being presented to other people and contracts are being inked, that it can work. But in the form, as best I have it.
Bill, we can get something to them, right,
Pile of money.
for that? We'll get you something. We have a figure. I'm just telling you, if I've seen the numbers, we'll get a copy for you. It would be an $80,000 savings in electric for the wastewater treatment plant, so you're 100% on that.
Right.
But the cost of all the running it and everything is all figured into factor for the people, the users who are using it. So we're figuring that all in at 4 cents a gallon.
Because I also have, debt service, and I don't know, I looked at what Morrisville was paying for a 250 kW cogen unit and their construction of this, and they put it out to bid between $7 and $8 million. And that's more like this project because it's net of any gas lines or anything being run. So when you amortize that over 30 years of 4%, which was the best municipal rate that you could get as presented in March, that was about $430,000 a year. So again, that's what factors into that.
We'll get you the numbers. I'll get you the numbers on that, okay? This way you can feel better, you'll see it. Because I looked at them, if it was gonna be that way, we never would have done it in the first,
No, I
wouldn't
know,
even think about it.
that's what gives me, concern
Okay.
me because I haven't seen it, so.
Okay, we'll take care of that. Anything else?
But look those over, and then if it's still, let us know if it's still not.
Yeah, no, and that's it. And that's all I did with these. These are a result of things I did back in March.
Yeah.
Taking the numbers and putting them in spreadsheets, driving them by formula, so I could change scenarios and make dynamic amortization tables and things like that. So
Okay.
that's how I came to these. So.
Yeah, and Maureen, going back to what you said before, we're looking at numbers for you, but I'm gonna tell you right this, one thing I do know for a fact. If Kraft moves and they're out of here, your sewer bills will triple. Figure that one out. Because if we can't get anybody here and they move, your bottom line roughly is gonna at least triple.
Unrelated to the biodigester.
Yeah, that's without a biodigester. So there were a lot other reasons that we looked to do this other than just, let's do a biodigester, you know what I mean? Because there's been talk about Kraft leaving for a few years now, not just, so, and we went to see, just so you know, we went to see Senator Schumer's office. They offered to help us set up a meeting with Kraft to see what they're gonna be. Once I meet with them, I'll have an idea where we're at. It's either gonna be yay or nay, there's no in between. So I'll have a better idea, but she said it would take a few weeks before we could do something, but I'll keep you informed of it, so. All right, anyone else care to say anything?
I have, unrelated.
Sure, whatever you want.
I'm here representing the Walton Community Cares Group that 12 years ago, we were very active, or 13, it's so hard to believe the years fly by. But we had one of our projects, we had various projects, and our mission really was to create multi-generational activities within the community.
Right.
And probably our best example of that was the ice rink at Austin Lincoln. And we're so blessed with that beautiful park and the village crew that made the whatever, the foundation. But we're at the point right now where we need a liner. And Brian Sprague worked with us at the time. He has worked with us now. So I've been asking him questions and drilling him because other communities are now putting in liners. So we went ahead and got a grant, or applied for a grant and got it from the Paul and Mary Mann Foundation.
Cool.
So we have a $3,500 grant, but we need to match it. So we want to have this done by December 1st. We need to order this liner so that we can have kids and grandparents and everybody like we had there 12 years ago skating for a longer duration. It's a challenge as it is. It doesn't doesn't hold water for very long, so if we have a freeze and a thaw, it
Goes,
doesn't
right.
work. But with a liner, it can extend our season. And we have all the skates that we gathered 12 years ago. The community donated skates, and we would let kids use them, and we have Lisa Reinhardt. We have young mothers now coming up. Great. I could hand off the skates to the young mothers. She's willing to help manage that. We're hoping to work with the village crew to possibly get a shed that's somewhere there that we can put over where they'll store. And I think, we've sort of bounced around ideas. But I'm here mainly to spread awareness of that and also ask for the village, the board's blessing and any support you might offer us in our raising $3,500 in the next couple months. We have fundraiser cans around, and we have put a Facebook fundraiser out. Truthfully, I can't tell you the balance of where we are right now because the checks are getting sent to Patty.
Where are the cans at?
She's away. What?
Where are the cans at?
There's one at Bruce Dolph's and at H&R Block,
Yeah.
and at Soil Water Conservation.
Okay.
So, I don't know if there's any, and I do appreciate the fact that the village crew is great. And, in the past, we ordered a resurfacer, and they helped us work that out. And
I'm sure we'll help you in any way we can within that. Monetarily wise, we're really kind of tough with money right now. We're short. We're getting hit with places looking like Sydney Federal Credit Union. They went to court. We ended up paying $7,000 back on there, right? $7,000, I think. $6 and change. So, financially, we're kind of tough because that's, even that one thing we pay for Sydney Credit, that's half of 1% on our taxes that we weren't expecting. So I don't know what we could do on that. But personally, I will go and make a donation, and I'm sure some of the board members will too. Anything we can help you other than that, right, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great idea. I appreciate what you're doing. I know all the work you've been doing on it. I remember when we did the bottom, at first, we were gonna do some skateboarding in the summertime and but the skateboarding didn't work out as well. But the ice rink, I think it's great. And we can get a place to change, and we'll help you out any way we can that way.
wonderful. That's good.
Right.
I believe, I don't know who I give this to, but there's a couple flyers.
Does anyone else care to say anything while we're here? Okay, moving on. Oh, that's me. Mayor's report.
Trustees?
Trustees first. I skipped over. Dave, you have anything to say?
Just Walton Theater Preservation met September 13th. The theater now has Wi-Fi service. I don't know if it's 24/7 or just during performances, but the theater now has Wi-Fi. Stained glass windows, if you've noticed, are out and they're at the artist studio being refurbished. And shortly you'll see some display cases out, gorgeous display cases that they've had sort of custom built to be out in what little yard there is in front of the theater to show upcoming shows and performances and stuff. And classy, Jim Rice is largely responsible for it, I believe. Just a phenomenal piece of artwork for the front of the theater, with a glass cover and stuff. So that was it.
Anything you think? No. Okay.
I'm going to interject one thing that just related to the theater. I reflect back to my dad, who said he was a teenager in Walton in the 1940s, 30s, whatever. And he talked about, we're blessed, we have a beautiful theater. He said as a teenager, they had a theater, they had a roller skating rink, they had a bowling alley, they had several ice skating, or several dance halls, etc. And we are blessed with a theater and a beautiful park. So if we can keep it going year round, it'd be great.
Yeah, even the library's nice. We have some really good things going for us. All right, thank you. Mayor's report. I have a letter to read for the board. Dear Mayor Ed Snow, I would like to touch base with you referring a matter of a lost check within the village clerk's office, which resulted in my water payment becoming delinquent and a hefty penalty of $41.29. I'll also have to speak up for the funds for a stop payment on this lost check. Now, I am not writing you to place blame, and I fully understand penalties as well as pay them when I happen to forget or unfortunately don't get my mail out timely. However, that's not the case this time. Therefore, I would appreciate you reviewing and presenting this unfortunate situation to the village board members for a recommendation of a refund for the penalty of the 4129 directly back to my personal or to my account. I was rather shocked when I opened the letter from the office for delinquent notice. Now I'm sure Missy did all she could when she received my phone call this morning inquiring this matter, saying she searched the office, contact someone about the video footage, etc. However, I too recall that day quite well. 8/2/2016, I signed out of work, attaches my employee signed out sheet to run errands. One of them was to stop by the clerk's office to drop off my payment. I don't recall which of the ladies was there, but they were busy on the phone, the furthest desk to the left as you look into the office. I held the envelope up, which contained the payment coupon and the check number 3340 and dated 8/2/16 for $196.61. We exchanged a head nod. I placed it on the counter and we both waved to one another and left. I've never had a problem with this in the past. It's just who I am, maybe too trusting, but nothing will happen. People do their jobs, etc. I strive to pay my bills on time. Take a look at my previous payments. I could be wrong, but I believe in the last several years I may have been late by 1 day or two. Once. Today, when I went to pay my bill, I asked who could I speak to about this, and as I didn't feel it was right, I work hard for my money like many in this town do. Now $40, some odd dollars might not be much to some people, but it is to me. I was informed that I need to contact you regarding my penalties being waived, which you need to take to the board. So, Mr. Snow, I am asking you to please take this information to the board and ask them how they would feel if this happened to them. Also, from conversations with other town members, this doesn't appear to be the first incident of misplaced funds of water sewer payment. I have attached copies of everything, the duplicate of the lost check, the new check, and my work signed inside out. I know this is all about trust, and I certainly wouldn't be writing to you if I had any doubt in my mind that I didn't deliver that payment prior to the due date. Thank you for your consideration. Thank you for your time, and board members, I look forward to hearing from you regarding this matter. Sincerely, Angie Edwards, 41 Fancher Avenue.
So she dropped the check off with the bill but didn't get a receipt at the time?
I'm guessing she's saying that whoever in the office was on the phone, she come in, they looked and nodded, and she put it down. Yeah, she didn't get a receipt. She just dropped it down and got out, walked out.
And then the check was never
Could never find it. Could have, a lot of things can happen. Could have got mixed up, could have got lost. So, any suggestions?
I got one.
Yeah? Okay. I'm willing to listen.
I can see letting it go,
The penalty.
the penalty, but I would definitely make sure everybody is aware of it, that there's no reason for that, being in a big rush like that, and make sure you get a receipt from the village clerk or whoever. But I would definitely like to see it let go. Motion.
Second. Yeah, I tend to feel that I would agree with Tank. My concern is it sets a precedent, and then when do you decide not to? And I guess it ends up being situation by situation.
Well, yeah, that becomes, yeah, it does, it could set a precedent, because then you can say, a lot of people say, oh, I came in, I just dropped it out, and this way, but,
Well, I'm not against forgiving the penalty, and then if we see that it's opened up more of a Pandora's box than we want, then we tried and it didn't work, and we just don't do it anymore. See how it goes.
okay, you made a motion, you made a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I guess I'm along with it too, that's three. Again, just this specific time. Okay, Halloween parade?
You didn't have anything else? Okay.
No, I didn't have nothing else, just that letter.
Received a letter from Walton Central School requesting to have the Halloween parade on October 31st at 1:30 p.m. So I need a motion if you guys want to
Motion.
approve that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, me too. Number 7, the 2016-17 budget amendments. You all got a copy of it? Need a motion for that too?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, me too. Oh, I'm getting that, me too tonight. Okay, the, number 8, the sludge box bid approval.
We put an ad in the paper to sell the old sludge box from the wastewater treatment plant. We got one bid from Delton for $750. And if you guys are in agreement with that, I need a motion to approve that bid.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried, all right. That's not on the agenda except for, Jody brought up to my attention, next month we got the Veterans Day Parade. And to give us enough time to get the okay, because it's like on the 11th, you know. So we need a motion to allow the Veterans Parade to go
Oh,
on.
I'll make that motion, sure.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, for me, so. Other than that, we're going to go into executive session to talk a personnel issue.
We need a motion.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, everyone. And Paul, I'll get that to you as soon as we can.
Thanks.
Okay.